Stowe, Ohio judge has been removed from office for illegal tactics that was used to collect fines and court costs. So this comes to us from Stowe, Ohio, where the Supreme Court of Ohio immediately removed Stowe Municipal Court Judge Kim Hoover from office and suspended him from the practice of law for 18 months, with 6 of those months stayed for the tactics he used to collect fines and fees. Committed multiple violations, and just the ones that were reported are 16 criminal cases that came to the bench of Judge Hoover, where the Ohio Supreme Court found that he committed 48 violations of the Code of Judicial Conduct and 16 violations of the rules of professional conduct. What he did here was he wrongfully jailed 2 men for failure to pay fines and court costs, and 14 other criminal defendants were what they call coerced or forced into paying fines and costs under unlawful threats of incarceration. And specifically, Judge Hoover, coming from Stowe, Ohio, which is actually the city where I reside in, is very troubling to hear this. And I think that for a series of allegations that these are, only to suspend him 18 months is a little bit light on the punishment. If they're removing him from the bench, as current, so happened immediately when these rulings came out. For getting in some specifics, there is a specific state law where a person can be jailed for failing to pay a fine, and the Ohio Constitution actually prevents a person from being jailed for paying a court cost. And what was alleged to have happened was that Hoover had disregarded the Ohio Constitution and their statutes, which are a set of rules enacted by the General Assembly, in this thorough guidance in favor of his own preferences is unjustifiable. And that quote comes from Justice Fisher, writing for the court. Justice Patrick F. Fisher noted Judge Hoover expressed an attempt to reduce taxpayer funds used to support the municipal court by trying to hold those who committed crimes accountable for their actions. But he was overzealous in his collection efforts and showed bias against those from a lower socioeconomic status. And what is termed a debtor's prison is what Hoover has been accused of, where, again, unlawfully incarcerating or threatening to incarcerate individuals for the non-payment of fines without due process, and unconstitutionality, incarcerating or threatening to incarcerate individuals for non-payment of court costs. And what this means at a simplified level is an individual goes through the court proceedings, they may be hit with court fines and court costs. And those dollars aren't meant to be a revenue stream, which is what Judge Hoover was attempting to do and was doing in all these cases. And what due process means in this case is taking a decision of hypothetically $1,000 in court costs. And what Judge Hoover would do is, even if that individual was not sentenced to jail time, or that was not part of the deal that had been worked out, or what the jury came back with, Judge Hoover was, in essence, forcing these individuals to pay these court fines and costs without due process, meaning not giving an amount of time, right? So if an individual comes from a lower socioeconomical background, they potentially have less funds, less dollars, and so they may not be able to pay right away. And I remember with a court case I was involved with, that once the case was concluded, you would leave the courtroom and go right to the, right to the cashier, asking for those dollars, those fines, and those court costs. And so I hearken back to that experience that I had, and for a judge to have been now caught red-handed doing that, it makes me wonder how many other judges are out there. A lot of judges and a lot of human beings are good people, right? Most are good people. But trying to make a revenue stream where there's not supposed to be, that's not a way that the court is supposed to be, making money. Take a company that sells 3 products, and those 3 products are meant to make money. You sell them, you try to sell as many as you can, you market, you advertise, and you take those sales, and those are part of the revenue stream. And so what this Judge Hoover was doing, he was trying to add these court fines and costs as a revenue stream, as well as, again, threatening, additional jail time right away. You can't pay right now, you're going off the prison, off the jail. You need to pay these, and knowing that individuals in these cases are not able to pay right away, and the thought of not only not being able to potentially pay right away, but not given straight guidelines of what to do and how to go about that process, that it can be very tricky to somebody who's not, a lot of us aren't in a courtroom day after day, like judges and attorneys. So we don't know what the proper rulings and the proper laws governing that is. Let's see. So let's close out by this one experience where Judge Hoover was charged with violating 3 judicial rules, including 1, requiring a judge to act at all times to promote public confidence in the judiciary's independence, integrity, and impartiality. The other rules require a judge to uphold and apply the law and prohibit a judge from using language or acting in a way that can be perceived as biased on race, disability, or socioeconomical status. He violated a rule that made some individuals prejudicial to the administration of justice, showing indifference to the legal obligation, such as following the law. And so Judge Hoover, Stowe Municipal Court, was and has been reprimanded.